Hey guys, I am starting just a little bit early on our team training today. So I released a poll and just kind of asking you guys, what are some of your current struggles? Tell me what they are so that I can put a piece of content together that's going to help you get your business moving forward. So for some of you who may not really know me or know my story, I just want to share a little bit of background about me before we get right into the training. So I'm Amy Orr. I have spent the last 10 years in public education. For 5 years, I taught 7th grade science. I absolutely loved it because as a kid, I had a love for everything nature and everything outdoors, and I wanted to give that love to others. And so for 5 years, I was a teacher for 7th grade. Being a teacher is extremely hard. You're on your feet all day. You barely get time to go to the bathroom because you're supposed to be with your kids all day. And just the list goes on and on. So I was very unhappy with the amount of work that I was putting in and the pay that I was getting out of it. And yes, I got other rewards besides pay, but those rewards don't pay your bills. Those rewards don't take care of your family. Those rewards don't allow you to send your kid to college or help your kid get through college. So I, searched for another job, found a job at East Central University. I taught for, I think, 3 years at East Central University. I taught freshman biology, and I also ran a youth program there. And my youth program was for high school students and get them prepared for college. And I absolutely loved that job. When this opportunity came along, I was not looking for anything additional in my life. I didn't see the long-term picture. However, one thing that I did notice, and one of the pains that I had with my current job, was that, Oklahoma teachers' retirement stinks. And, I didn't want to be carrying a cane around when I got ready to retire. So what I did was, hi Kira. So I didn't want to be carrying a cane around whenever I retired. So when I was approached about my primary opportunity, I have never been a closed-minded person. So when I was approached about the opportunity, I said, yeah, I'm willing to listen to you. I'm willing to see what you have to say. And so one of the things that kept churning in my mind was, okay, this can just be an opportunity to supplement my retirement so that I'm not on a cane and 80 years old whenever I get to retire. So it just started out as, okay, I'll create another stream of income so that I can supplement my retirement, because I knew my retirement plan was not a good plan. And once I started getting into the company, I realized really quickly that, okay, I can probably do something with this. And every time I do anything in life, I give 100. Hi, Jody. Every time I do something in life, I give 110%. I give everything I am. I work really, really hard. I'm super motivated, driven, and passionate about whatever it is that I decide to do. So, I took off, and it took me 1.5 years to get to the level where I could leave my job, because I had tripled my income from my university position and I was getting paid well there. So, this opportunity has been completely life-changing for me, and I feel like it aligns perfectly with who I am, because I still get to educate, motivate, and inspire people every single day, which is the same thing I did in education. The problem with education is, I've really come to wrap my mind around that the JOB is for people who are content with working really, really hard and never making any more money. Because that's the scenario for most people. I got a raise every year, but it was a very small raise. And I just kind of decided, I stepped away from my position because I tripled my income, and I decided, you know what? I'm a hardworking person, and I deserve to get paid for my efforts. So I left my position at the university. I'm actually fully leaving in May because they wanted me to stay on for some consulting, and so I'm actually doing that. Hi, Regina. But I've been able to leave my job, and I just want to tell you guys that I am not a I kind of am a superpower, but I don't have any skills that you guys cannot acquire, okay? So anyone who wants, this whole group is about people who want to fire their boss and people who want to move up in their company. And so I'm here to tell you that anybody can get to a level where they can fire their boss if they want to and if they're willing to put forth the work in doing that. So that is kind of my mission, just to help others solve their problems and put out content that's going to help you get to whatever level it is that you're wanting to get inside your network marketing opportunity. So what happened in my business was I reached a plateau, and I know that some people probably think, that they've reached a plateau too. So I reached a plateau at some point in my business, and I also had team members that looked to me as their leader, and they were like, Amy, we don't know where to go. We don't know what to do. And the real truth of the matter is that you get very little guidance as a network marketer. And so you're left with, you really don't know what to do. You really don't know what to say. You really don't know who to approach. And so I really believe that the majority of people aren't retained because they don't have a skill set, and they're not really taught, they're not really guided, and they end up quitting because they get frustrated or they get told no a bunch of times. So I had some people on my team who felt like they were at a plateau. I myself felt like I was at a plateau. I was putting up posts on my Facebook wall. Oh, thank you, Kara. I was putting up posts on my Facebook wall, guys, and they were getting no engagement. Okay, no one was liking them. No one was commenting on them. And so I felt like I had exhausted my warm market. I had talked to everybody that I knew and was in my warm market or my hot market, and I wasn't getting leads online because I was pitching and spamming, which annoys people, which I didn't realize at the time that that's why I wasn't getting any engagement. So because I myself and one of my teammates were having a little bit of a struggle, and we wanted to keep moving forward in our company. Now, mind you, I had retired at that time, so I was still making good enough money to be retired, but my goal was to get to the top of the company. So what I did was I just started researching like crazy on the internet. Like, there's got to be a better way to build your business than pitching or spamming and hoping somebody on the internet is going to go, yeah, pick me. I want your product. I want your opportunity. But people really don't do that. Usually the way that happens is if they're warm market people already, which means they already like, know, and trust you. Then they might raise their hand off of one of your Facebook posts. But, that's going to go to the wayside at some point. You're going to exhaust all those, and then you're going to have no leads for your business. And when you have no leads for your business and no way to create leads for your business dies a slow, painful death. And so for those of you who are in the group, I hope that you don't want your business to die a slow, painful death. So I hope you're going to get some value from the information that I'm going to share. So I went out and found another 6- and 7-figure coach, and I paid her to private coach me. And what I decided to do from that is I thought to myself, oh, hi, Faith. I thought to myself, oh, okay. So I paid her to private coach me. She also pointed me to something called My Lead System Pro. And My Lead System Pro literally gives me everything I need to build a business online. And so it's a membership base, and it's everything you need to build your business online. I also, in that time, I'm paying for private coaching. I am inside a membership site, My Lead System Pro, and I'm learning how to attract people to me. And you guys that are watching me are the perfect example of how I've used My Lead System Pro to attract you to me. Some of you people never knew me until I started putting out content of value, until I started putting out Facebook Lives that appeal to you, right? So I know for a fact that most of you wouldn't be in this group, you wouldn't be attracted to me if I wasn't doing attraction marketing and if I wasn't doing Facebook Lives. That's what drew you to me. Drawing people to you is what's going to get people to like, know, and trust you. When those people like, know, and trust you, they will then join you and or purchase products and services from you. So after I was inside, I paid this private coaching. I got my fan page up. Then I got inside My Lead System Pro. And when I got inside My Lead System Pro, I literally started building a blog. and I started generating an email list. So because that's what My Lead System Pro teaches you to do. And My Lead System Pro also teaches you how to build a 6 and 7 figure income and generate leads online. For those of you who don't know, Ray Higdon is in this group. If you guys don't know Ray Higdon, he's like the bomb, okay? I love Ray Higdon, OMG. Ray Higdon uses My Lead System Pro. Why wouldn't I use a platform that someone who's building $1 billion house uses? He uses it because it works, and it's worked for a ton of other people. So what I decided to do was I decided, when I became a part of this My Lead System Pro, and I started putting out all this valuable content, and I started getting people drawn to me, what I said to myself was, okay, I can create a second stream of income. Most people think that people who are millionaires and billionaires have one stream of income. That's not true. I don't just have one stream of income. I have multiple streams of income. My primary MLM is not all the way I'm making money. I approach people every single day that say, I'm already with an MLM, Amy, and I'm trying to build that group. Okay, well, that's perfectly fine and great. But I'm going to follow 6 and 7 figure earners. They say you need multiple streams of income. So I have that. I have my primary MLM opportunity, and I'm also a private coach. So I coach people privately and get paid to do so. So I have multiple streams of income. My blog also earns money too. And these are all things that you guys can embrace and that you guys can do while you're trying to build your primary MLM opportunity. So today we're going to go over just a little bit about prospecting, because I know people have a real problem with prospecting, and I'm doing a training today about that. So today is going to be about, and I'm just looking down because I have my PowerPoint pulled up here and I want to make sure that I stay on target. So this is going to be the who, the what, the when, the where, and the how, and the tips on prospecting. So what is prospecting? Prospecting, guys, is the fastest way to grow your business. What I do when I generate leads online, when I create content like I'm doing, when I create this group, I'm not prospecting. This group is a marketing strategy. Marketing is a long-term strategy to build your audience and your following and reach celebrity status. You should be doing both daily. I market daily and I prospect daily. It's part of my routine. I am like a robot. I am so dedicated to moving up in the company that I am a slave to my business habits every single day, guys. And I'm telling you, if you're not a slave to your business habits, you don't want it bad enough. That is the end of story. When you want something bad enough and you need to create something bad enough, you'll become a slave to your positive daily habits, what you do to move your business forward. So you should be prospecting, and you should be learning about marketing, and you should be marketing every single day too. And we're going to have another live event about marketing so that I can introduce you to what actually marketing is. Okay, where? A lot of people are like, Amy, I don't know where to find leads. Guys, leads are everywhere. People are everywhere. So when you go to dinner, you can meet people. When you go to events, you can meet people. Everywhere you go to meet people is an opportunity to find new prospects for your business. Your Facebook profile, Facebook groups, networking groups. They have networking groups that happen in your community. They have networking groups that happen online. Those are all ways to find prospects. So you just have to wrap your mind around it that really when you're prospecting, you're just looking for building those relationships with people. So I'm going to give you some examples as we go on in here. But you just have to think about the fact that prospects are everywhere, guys. You just have to literally talk to people. You have to talk to people everywhere you go. And your goal should be to just connect with them on a personal level and get their contact information so that you can start following up with them, so you can build a relationship with them. Okay. The how. Okay, so how do you prospect? So we went over where, we went over what prospecting means, we went over where you find prospects, and now we go over how. The biggest thing in the how, guys, is you just need to check for openness. You need to see who is open to taking a look at what you have to offer. Whether what you have to offer is product, service, or opportunity. You just look for people who are open. If you go up to someone and you try to start a conversation with you and they won't start a conversation with you, they won't smile at you, they won't reciprocate back, what does that mean to you? Let me tell you what that means to you. That means, one, they're not open. Forget them. Move on. Two, they're not going to create you a lot of money, guys, if they won't speak to people. They're not. So you didn't lose anything by losing that person, and you certainly shouldn't lose your confidence level, because if someone is not a personable person, they're going to have a hard time making it inside network marketing unless they change their ways. So you check for openness. When you're out and about and you're talking to people, if they're engaging in a conversation with you, just small talk, they're open, and they could become open at some point. So you're just checking for someone who's open to taking a look at what you have to offer. And your goal should be to ask for a phone call or a meetup. I have people all the time that try to close people through Facebook Messenger, and it just doesn't work. It just doesn't. That's why they call this network marketing, because it's about building a network of people who like, know, and trust you. And you have to do that through your voice, through your face, through a phone call, through a meetup. So if someone is not willing to get on the phone with you, again, what I do is in my mind, I'm like, okay, if those people are scared of the phone or they're scared to talk to people in person, they're going to have to work super hard to get over that to be successful in this business. So, maybe I just need to next them and move on to the next person. So here's what you do for cold marketing. So for cold marketing, here are the steps that you use to reach out to people if you're cold marketing them. Step 1, use their name. Don't say, hey girl, hi, don't. Use their name and spell their name right. That means a lot to people. People get super offended if you don't use their name, and they get super offended if you don't spell their name right. So, don't use a stinking script, guys. Don't use a script. So many people get caught up in a script and they forget how to be a human, and they just start copying and pasting the same script. And let me tell you what, people that you're cold marketing have probably seen that script like 10 times a day. And they're so immune to your scripts, they're just going to pass you right by. They're not going to answer you. They're not going to respond to you. So don't use a script. Step number 2, tell them where you found them or why you were attracted to them in the first place. So for instance, there is a person on my Facebook page who loves horses and does horses just like I do. She's a roper. So I could reach out to her, use her name, and say, hey, I just saw over on your profile page that you're a team roper. That's totally cool. I'm a team roper myself. How long have you been team roping? Okay, what did I do? Sorry guys, I was getting a phone call. I just started building a relationship with that person. So step 3, give them a compliment. And what I just said, find some common ground by going to their profile, doing some digging. It means a lot to people that you actually taken the time to look at who they are and what they stand for, rather than just sending them some random message. Step number 4, ask a question. Say, hey, I checked out your profile. I noticed you love horses. Do you rodeo? Do you do barrel racing? Also, I checked out your profile. I noticed that you're with Younique. I love their products. How long have you been with the company? So when you start a conversation that includes how long have you been with your company, how long have you been in the business, guess what's going to happen? They're going to reciprocate that back, and they're going to ask me, oh, hey, Amy, how long have you been with your company? How long have you been doing the network marketing thing? So that gets a conversation flowing, because people usually reciprocate it. Like if I ask them, how long have you been team roping? Then they'll probably say, oh, this many years, blah, blah, blah. Amy, are you a team roper? Do you team rope? So we're instantly connected through some common ground. And it's not some generic Facebook message that I've copied and pasted and sent to everybody and annoyed everybody. So don't do that. Use my 4-step method for reaching out to your cold market. This gets the combo going and works on building a relationship with them. So your goal is to look to build relationships. It's called network marketing for a reason. Find a way to start a conversation and get their contact information. So let me give you another example. Every single time, guys, that you go, and a lot of times when you go like shopping, okay, there are people there that specifically always ask you, hey, are you looking for anything specific, or do you have a special occasion? So whenever I go and someone says, hey, are you looking something for a special occasion? I have gotten multiple people's cards and contact information because as soon as they ask me that, I've usually been shopping for a special event for my MLM opportunity. So I say, oh, yes, I do have a special event coming up. I am with a company that does, blah, 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 and I am being honored at a ceremony and I'm looking for a dress. And so they're always intrigued. And recently when I was going to Vegas, they said, are you looking for something for a particular occasion? I said, why, yes, my company is sending me on a free trip to Las Vegas. And I'm looking for blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, what company do you work for? And so immediately people try to start a convo with me, but I don't do that because I'm busy. I don't sit there and read them all this information about my business. I don't sit there and throw up on them about my business. I simply say, I'm super busy right now. I'm getting ready for this trip. I've got phone calls to return. I got business meetings to go to. However, if you're open, I'll get your contact information. You can get my contact information. When I get back from my trip, I'll just give you a call. Maybe this business is a fit for you. If it's not, no big deal. Maybe the products are a fit for you. If they're not, no big deal. I'll connect with you when I get back. That works every single time. So it's about building relationships. It's about keeping those business cards, keeping those contacts, building a relationship with people. Okay, continue on with the how. You should also be reaching out to people who engage or like your photos or engage on your post. So here's an example. Hey, Amy, just wanted to shoot you a message and say thanks for liking my post. I noticed over on your profile that you're a nurse. How long have you been a nurse? My mother and sister are both nurses, and several people in my business are nurses full time. You see how I slid that little part in there about I have some nurses in my business? Most people who want to make relationships with people are going to say, oh, Amy, what business are you in? That opens the conversation where it doesn't sound pitchy, it doesn't sound spammy, it doesn't sound salesy, it sounds genuine, it sounds like a normal conversation. Okay, the who. We have 3 types of markets, or 3 markets that I like to call. So who are you prospecting? So we have something I call your burnt market, and I'm going to explain to you what that means. We have your warm market and we have your cold market. So what is your burnt market? All right, let me give you an example. If you have been with multiple network marketing companies and all you've ever done on your Facebook profile is spam and put before and after pictures and talk about how much money you can make and talk about how you're the #1 team and just talk about this, and this, you probably have a burnt warm market, which means you have people that know you, but you've annoyed them and they don't want to see anything else you have to offer. Okay? So I see this happen to a lot of people. They have a burnt up warm market. Their warm market is immune to their money message, and their warm market is immune to their product message. But there's hope even if you have a burnt market, because if you have a burnt market, you can always start over. You can always revamp your Facebook page. You can always start your business page. You can always start putting out content of value, not spamming. So there's always hope. Also, if you have people they're burnt up, you've burnt up your warm market, you've annoyed everybody because all you do is pitch and spam, there is hope, because if you burn up your warm market, stop pitching them the opportunity. Just stop. What you should do is you should call them or send them a message and say, hey, believe it or not, I'm with another network marketing company. I know the business isn't for you. I know the business isn't a fit for you. Totally cool. Totally understand that. But I think you would love the product. Are you open to watching a video about the product, or are you open to having a phone chat about the product? Now, if you lead with the product and you put it to them that way, some people in their mind will go, oh, well, why don't you think I could do the business? Like, why wouldn't you pitch me the business? Oh, well, so you will convert some people that way, but that's the best way to go if you burn up your market. They're tired of your money message, they're tired of your spamming, and the only way that you're going to get them is to lead with the product and to start leading with value and stop pitching and spamming. We also have warm market people. The fastest and easiest way to build your business is with your warm market people. However, I have seen people that I've coached and helped who did not have a large receptive warm market. Eric Worre says, you kind of get punished when you start a network marketing business if you haven't exactly been the best person. So if you've been a taker as opposed to a giver, then you probably don't have a large receptive warm market. If you're not a networker and you don't talk to people normally and you don't make friends everywhere you go, you probably don't have a large receptive warm market. That doesn't mean that you can't move your business forward. And as a matter of fact, there are some coaches that will teach you to approach your cold market first, because it hurts a lot less when strangers tell us no than when we go to our warm market and they don't want to support us. So your warm market is your fastest way to get your business off the ground, if you have a large receptive warm market. Cold market. The advantages to cold market, guys, is you never run out of people to talk to. There are endless amounts of cold market leads. Endless. They're everywhere. The disadvantage to cold market is they are skeptical. Like, they're so skeptical, they're more skeptical than your warm market people. So you really have to work on building like, know, and trust with them in order to get them to come into your opportunity or buy or purchase your product or service. They get approached often. So if you do use a script, like I told you not to do, and you don't get to know them, and you don't go over on their profile, and you don't find out about something, and you don't use my 4-step method, you're probably going to make them mad, because they've already been approached a bunch of times, and they're kind of annoyed by being approached. The other disadvantage is you can turn off a cold market person really, really quickly. And the likelihood that you're going to gain their trust once you've lost it, or you're going to gain them liking you back once you turn them off, it's highly unlikely. So you have to be very careful with your cold market that you don't turn them off immediately by the way that you approach them. Lost my place here. Okay, you can build like, know, and trust by leading with value and creating content that solves the pains and problems of your target market, which is something we're going to talk about later when we talk about marketing. Okay, here's when you should approach people about your business. And lots of people disagree with me, and I don't do stuff to have everybody agree with me. You should not approach people, warm market, cold market, until you can disconnect and disengage from the outcome. And what I mean by this, that I know that the number one reason why you don't have a high retention rate in network marketing is because people are not trained. They're not trained to prospect correctly. And they are so emotionally tied to a prospect that they let it completely ruin their entire day, entire life when someone tells them no. So you have absolutely, positively, in order to move your business forward, you've got to disconnect and disengage from the no's. Whenever I onboard someone on my team, I tell them, you're going to get no's. You're going to get a lot of them. Do you have grit? Can you make it through the no's? Because I can teach you everything that you need to know to build your business. without pitching and spamming. I can teach you everything you need to know. I can't teach you grit. I can't make you grit your teeth and keep on going. That's a skill I can't teach you. That's something you have to get on your own. You can get it if you really want it, but I can't teach it to you. So when I onboard someone, I prepare them for that. Are you ready to grit your teeth and prepare to be told no? Even by the people that you love, are you prepared to be told no? And if you're not, you need to get there quickly, because most people get told no way more than they ever get told yes. So have posturing in your business. Ray Higdon calls that posturing. He just says disconnect from the outcome. Don't be offended if someone tells you no, because your goal is to still build a relationship with them. If you think about it, it's similar to dating. So you're sort of playing hard to get just a little bit. So how many of you guys would have been attracted to a man if when you were courting with him for a week, he's like, oh my God, I can't live without you. Like, I have to see you every night, blah, 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 blah. Most people are going to be like, oh, whoa. Like, whoa. So it's a little bit like playing hard to get. Don't be so consumed with getting that person assigned to your team. It looks desperate, and desperate is never appealing. People like to join people who are in power, who seem motivated, who seem excited, and who seem capable of helping them get to the next level. They don't like joining someone, whenever they feel like you're needy. So don't be needy. Don't be emotionally tied to the outcome. And we're going to talk about that in just a second. Okay, now I'm going to give you some tips. Okay, it must be in your daily routine to prospect and market. You must be doing both. Do more listening and less talking. So one of the other 6 and 7 figure earners that I follow all the time he said, do more listening than you do talking, because you have 2 ears and you have 1 mouth. So the best way to get someone to join you is to uncover their pain. So how are you going to uncover their pain if you spend the entire conversation doing this? If you spend the entire conversation throwing up on them about how, oh my God, you have to join my opportunity, and you talk the entire time. And guys, you know how I learned this lesson? I had a lady ream me out, like literally, for at least 30 minutes on a 3-way call. But you know what? Even though her approach was wrong because she was very hateful, and I let her know at the end that I don't really put up with hateful, and I probably wouldn't have worked with her even if she had joined my team. I literally told her that, you have a bad attitude. But I did learn something from that, because she made me understand in a bad way that I spent too much time giving my presentation and not enough time uncovering who she was, what her goals are, and what her pains and struggles are. In her perception, I made the conversation all about me and my company, and that's not what I meant to do, because that's what I've been trained to do. That's what everybody was telling me to do, and it's so wrong. Make the conversation about your prospects. Be stingy with your link. Don't share your link. I have so many people that are like, oh my gosh, they went to my website and they think our products are too high, and I'm like, why'd you send them to your website without getting on a phone call? So be stingy with your link. Don't send an unsolicited link. That's just bad business. Unsolicited means someone didn't ask for it. And that's kind of what we tell people about not pitching and spamming, not using your before and afters. Not everybody asks for you to show your before and afters every day on your profile. So you have to be careful that you're doing things that are unsolicited. Don't use the word interested when prospecting. I heard Ray Higdon say this one time, because I've attended a lot of trainings, and he said no one's interested. Interested is such a weak word. Just wipe it out of your vocabulary. Nobody's interested. But get this, guys, it's subliminal. You got to think opposite. No one wants to admit that they're closed-minded. So you just say, hey, are you open to taking a look at my product? I think you'll love it. Are you open to watching a video about my product? I think you'll love it. People don't want to say or admit that they're closed-minded. So don't say interested. Just don't. Bad word. Get better at asking questions. If you ask questions, again, you can uncover pains. So this will help you uncover their pain and their need, and you'll know if they have a need for your product, your service, or your opportunity. And if they object, let's just say they object. So here's a tip. Say, okay, no big deal, just curious. What had you open to taking a look at what I had to offer in the first place? What had you open to, taking a look at my presentation? So recently we did a three-way call. Hi, Kia, and Kia's actually on here. Recently we did a three-way call, and we thought the person was super motivated, super pumped. And after the call, she sends a message and says she's not interested, and she's not going to do it right now. She doesn't think it's a fit for her. So what I trained my team to do, and my coaching clients to do, is to go back to that person and say, hey, totally cool. I'm okay with it, because the business is not a fit for everybody. But can you tell me what made you open to taking a look at the business? What made you open to getting on the phone with us in the first place? And it's highly likely, guys, that those people are going to say, well, I needed to make some money. And then you say, well, okay, I want to help you. I can literally lay out a plan to help you make money. So do you have another plan? Do you have someone that's telling you they're going to lay out a plan for you to make an extra income? Because I'm still willing to do that. So if you ever change your mind, then just let me know. And hopefully you're going to have people that are going to respond and tell you why, they've changed their mind, why they now have an objection. So I put out a video, and one of the things that I always love to do is just uncover what people's objections are. Because more than likely, everybody objects. You yourself probably didn't say no the first time you were approached about your opportunity. You objected to it. So think about people's objections and ask for them and help them work through those objections. Provide solutions to problems. Be a problem solver. Again, when you solve people's problems, you're making it about them. You're not making it about you. If you always make it about you, no one's going to join you. They're not. They're just not going to join you. Okay. Tips continue. Okay. Again, I said, try to lead with the product, especially if you have a burnt warm market. You can also lead with the product if you have someone who is of high class, like they have a lot of clout, they have a lot of followers. You could also lead with the product in that instance, and you can say, when I get people on the phone, my focus is to say something like, hey, I know the biz isn't a fit for you, but I'd like to tell you about the successes and the leadership of our company, because you may know someone who does want to make money if I can show them step by step how to do it. So anyone that gets on the phone with me that originally just says they're interested in product, I say, ooh, no big deal, product's amazing, but you may come across someone in your life that needs to make a little extra money, that wants to make a primary income or secondary income. So can I tell you a little bit about the business just so you'll know about it? I won't get into the money that it costs to get in or none of that. I'll just tell you a little bit about the successes of our business. And then if you know someone who would like to make money, if I can show them step by step how to do it, will you please send them in my direction? So, and sometimes that will make people turn around when you do your business presentation. It doesn't always, but sometimes it does. We've had people that have signed up as customers and then later became business builders. So that happens sometimes. So just be sure, even if you're doing the product, to still see if they're open to that business presentation and ask for referrals. Maintain the connection if they say no. This is why your email list is so important, guys. You probably can't follow up with everybody that you come in contact with or everybody that you prospect. So this is why building your email list is so important, because if someone says no to your opportunity, I had a lady the other day that's very successful and she owns a business in Dallas. And I just cold marketed her, and she said, Amy, I'm super busy trying to get my store up and running, but I watch your videos and I love you, and I would love for you to come and have dinner with me or lunch with me if the next time you come to Dallas. So what do you guys think I'm going to do? Like, I am going to continue to build that relationship with her. She is a cold market person. She said, no, not right now, but she wants to have dinner with me. So what do you think I'm going to do? So you should never, ever close the door on someone and just be all offended because they told you no. Never, ever. You should never do that. The only time I close the door on someone is when they're hateful, they're uncoachable, and I don't want them on my team. I'm just like, okay, just like the girl that read me upside down one another. I wouldn't have worked with you anyways, Like, if you were on my team, I would not have helped you, So the only time that you don't follow up with someone or that you don't put them on your list, my goal is to get them on my email list, because if they're on my email list, then I'm putting my content that is establishing me as an authority figure in front of them every single day. Remember too that it takes an average of 7 touches to get someone to make a move to your business. That's why you should continue to build a relationship with them. It could take them 7 times of of you building a relationship with them for them to actually take a look or for them to actually join or purchase your products. Your job is to connect with the lead and determine a need. So remember, I said ask questions to find their pain points. So you connect with them, you have a conversation with them around what is their pains, and then you find ways that you can help solve their pains. And that's what's going to attract people to you and get more people to your business. Okay, now let's talk about closing. There's lots of different ways to close. We have hardcore closers. We have not hardcore closers. But guys, you absolutely need to ask someone to make a decision. Okay? But again, you cannot be tied to the outcome of that decision. You have to be ready for no. You have to be ready for rudeness. You have to be ready for negativity. Just be ready for it. It's going to happen. Remember what I said about grit? Just be ready for it. So closing. Let me tell you this, guys. The average closing rate is 10%. Okay? I keep track of my closing rate, and mine's a little higher than 10%, but the average closing rate is 10%. So if you're getting 10%, you need to kind of pat yourself on the back because you're not doing all that bad, because that's the average, okay? So closing is a skill set that takes time and it takes training. And if someone is telling you it doesn't, that's not true. It takes time and it takes training to effectively close someone. So here's some closing tips that I do a lot. So I say, what are your thoughts on test driving the business and letting me show you step by step how to make a little extra money, and we can fit it into the nooks and crannies of your life. So what I did there is I've asked them to make a decision, but I've also said, what are your thoughts? So I'm basically asking them to give me their objections so I can help them. Don't make it to where it's closed and they have to give you yes or no. Make them give you an answer that's not yes or no. Because you can't work around no, and it's a lot harder when they give you a no than when they say, well, I'm afraid I don't have time to do this, Amy, or I'm afraid I'm not a salesperson, or I don't have a lot of confidence. And so you really have to say, what are your thoughts on test driving the business? And let me tell you why I say test driving. I don't know what your MLM does. My MLM gives a full 30 days. You can get your money back for the business. You can get your money back for the products. So I say it's no risk, it's literally no risk for you to jump in. Let me show you step by step how to make money. If you're not convinced before day 30, hey, I'll help you get your money back. I didn't build a business and leave my job by making people unhappy. If this is not for you, I'll help you get your money back. I'll call my founder's line. I'll say, hey, this person wants out. So there's literally no risk. So that's a good way to close. Most of the time people object because they have a lack of belief in network marketing and they have a lack of belief in themselves. So you really have to find out what it is so that you can help them work through that. Whether it's they don't believe network marketing works, or whether it's they don't believe that they have the ability to do network marketing. And you could also say, let's just say you say, hey, what are your thoughts on test driving the business? And they just give you a hardcore no. Or you're just not convincing them, okay? What you need to do is you need to say, hey, totally cool. Again, I'm disengaging from the outcome. Totally cool. It's not a fit for everybody. But do you know anybody who would like to make a little extra money if I can show them step-by-step how to do it? And sometimes that will convert them, because what they'll say is, what do you mean? You're going to show me step-by-step? Yep, and I know you don't get that in other network marketing companies, but you're going to get it with me. I'm going to show you step-by-step how to do it. I'm going to give you a plan. I'm going to tell you what you need to do. I'm going to help you with scripts. I'm going to help you in prospecting. So yeah, I'm going to give you step-by-step how to do it. I'm not going to sign you up and then go, oh, are you going to place your order? Oh, are you going to place your order? No, that's not leadership. So I really let them know, especially if I know that person has been in other network marketing companies and they haven't created success. I really try to find out why they haven't created success, and I really try to tell them how my leadership and my team may vary from other companies or other teams, and why they might want to look in this direction. So be sure you know your strengths. Be sure you know your strengths as a leader and why someone would want to join you. I mean, why would someone want to join you? Okay. If they object, again, help them work through their objections. So a lot of people say, it's a pyramid scheme. A lot of people say they don't have time. They don't have money. So, just help them work through objections. I did a video over on my business page, Amy Orr Speaks, and you can check that out. And it's literally the different scripts you can use when someone objects to your opportunity, because I'm here to tell you, most people have objections. The goal is to work them through the objections and find out the real reason why they objected. All of these objections, pyramid schemes, don't have time, don't have money, they can all be worked out if you try to help them rethink their thinking or retrain their brain to think in a different way. So you just literally have to work on building relationship and getting them over those objections. And it is possible. And even if it's not possible the first time, it could be possible, in times 1 through 7, if it takes them 7 times to make a move. Okay. So, I think that's probably the end of it. I hope that you guys have got some value from this. Again, we're going to try to do like a weekly training. I'm also going to gear up for maybe a challenge where you guys are going to be challenged and support each other within the group. So talk about your successes so that we can, give you some recognition. A lot of people work and will work really hard for recognition. So if you're in a network marketing company right now and you're not getting recognition, maybe this group is what you need to get motivated again. Maybe you need that recognition. You need that support. You need someone to say, oh my gosh, good job. You made 10 contacts today. Awesome. That's fabulous. So I think the focus should be on just getting into activity, and there's nothing in your business that can't be fixed through activity and through gaining the skills that you need. So I hope you guys have a great day. I have tons of phone calls and events today, and I'm hoping to get to rope because it may rain tomorrow. So I hope you guys have a great day. Get out there and start talking to people. Get out there and prospect. Watch this video again. Take notes. It can be replayed over and over again. Invite people to this group so that they can participate in the training as well. I hope you guys have a fabulous day. Bye, guys.